Hey everyone, welcome back to Learn2Play TV. I hope you all had an awesome holiday, and wow, I can't believe that 2014 is just around the corner. But before we ring in the new year, we're going to go over how to use the power plant from the Invincible Iron Man set. The power plant is a new resource allowing you to utilize the powers of the rings of the Mandarin for a very low point cost, as well as it adds fun and unique mechanics to this game. Unlike past resources where you obtained through participation of a WizKids themed event, like the Book of Skulls that we got from Fear itself, the power plant is obtained through winning a local Invincible Iron Man tournament. Upon winning, you should also receive the 10th ring of the Mandarin, the Disintegration Beam. The remaining 9 rings are randomly inserted into the Invincible Iron Man booster pack. They come about 1 in every 3 packs, so happy hunting. Now let's go ahead and talk about how to use this resource. Let's talk about point cost. The power plant costs 10 points to use, plus an additional 2 points for each ring slot that is activated. With 1 ring activated, the power plant costs a total of 12 points, 10 points for the power plant and 2 points for the 1 ring. With all 10 rings activated, the total cost is only 30 points. With that point cost, this resource is going to be very popular. Not to mention that the power plant is assigned to everyone on your force, not just specific characters. The power plant is fairly simple to understand as far as point cost, and it really gets only easier. So let's go ahead and talk about the abilities that this resource comes with. The first ability is called Ring Selection. At the beginning of your turn, you are allowed to choose one of the rings assigned to the power plant. Now remove it and place it onto one of your friendly character's cards. The assigned character may then use the ring as a relic, giving that character the effect or abilities printed on the ring's card. Chosen characters may use the ring or rings assigned to them until they clear, at which time the ring or rings are returned to the power plant. It is important to note that characters can have more than 1 ring on their character card at a time, allowing some awesome combinations of abilities and stats. And the last ability on the power plant is called Drain a Ring's Power. This ability allows you to give a friendly character a free action and remove one of the rings from the power plant. The character that uses this ability and removes a ring may either use Outwit or may modify their combat values by +1, but only for this turn. This ability has got to be my favorite part about this resource. Being able to either use any of these options, depending on the situation you're in, is almost borderline OP, especially for the point value. And because of the low point value, you essentially have up to 10 of your turns to use this ability. Now you should be aware that when you do use this ability and choose to drain a ring, that ring is then removed from the game. So make sure you choose wisely and don't get rid of one of those rings that you need that ability or stat. As you can see, the power plant really is very simple to use. Some of the wording can get a little difficult to understand, but we will do a quick review at the end of this video to give you a little quicker understanding of the abilities we just went over. Now let's go ahead and take a look at these rings and see what powers come with each of them. Here we have the first ring, the Impact Beam, and it states, this character can use Force Blast. A target is knocked back equal to twice the d6 roll for the Force Blast. Knockback damage dealt by this character is increased by 1 and is penetrating. Our second ring is the Vortex Beam, and this ring allows characters to use Telekinesis and the Flight ability. I can see this ring being very popular in Constructed. For our third ring, we have the White Light, and this states, when this character hits a single opposing character with a ranged combat attack, until your next turn, modify the target's attack value by -2 and its damage value by -1. That is a pretty powerful ring, essentially shutting down your opponent if you hit them. The fourth ring on our list is the Flame Blast, and this allows characters to use Penetrating Psychic Blast with a minimum range value of 4. If it only targets a single character, it can then use Energy Explosion as well. This is again another one of those rings that's going to be very popular to use in Constructed. Here is the fifth ring, and it is the Mento Intensifier. This ring allows a character to use Mind Control. It can use it as a free action, but may only target a single character that took damage from this character's attack this turn. For all you Mind Control fans out there, this ring is the one to have. A free Mind Control is pretty nice. Now on to the sixth ring, and it is the Ice Blast ring. This ring allows a character to use Barrier and Incapacitate. When it does Incapacitate and hits, it may then use Barrier as a free action, but may only place blocking terrain markers adjacent to the target. Again, not a bad ring to use, especially if you want to wall someone off after you just gave them a little bit of damage. Moving right along, we're up to our seventh ring, and this one is the Matter Rearranger. And it states, when this character has no action token, give it a free action and choose a square of blocking, hindering, water, or clear terrain within range and line of fire. You may then replace that square with one of the 3 types listed. This ring seems very situational, but could be quite fun and could work towards your advantage depending on your strategy. Now we're on to our eighth ring, and this is the Black Light. It allows characters to use Smoke Cloud as a free action. Opposing characters that begin their turn in a square with one of these terrain markers placed by this ability, then modify their speed and range values by -2. This character and adjacent friendly characters can use stealth if they occupy a square with a terrain marker placed by this ability. Again, this ring I think is very situational, as with a lot of these rings are, but being able to either shut down your opponents by -2 on range and speed, as well as giving your team stealth by placing those smoke cloud terrain markers underneath your team is actually pretty awesome. And here we have my favorite ring. This is the ninth ring, and it is the Electro Blast. And it states, when making a ranged combat attack, this character modifies its damage and range values by +1 and has an additional target. With all the heavy range hitters out nowadays, this ring is really going to make it worth your while and help protect you, as well as take out your opponents. Being able to modify damage and range by +1 and give you an additional target is really OP. I'm going to be using this ring as often as I can. I don't know about you guys, but my Fear Itself Hawkeye is calling for this ring. I can hear it screaming right now. I think I may have to use it. But I digress. I really think this ring is going to be played a lot. And here we have the 10th and final ring, the Disintegration Beam. This ring is probably going to be one of the most popular rings out there and most sought after. It states, when this character hits an opposing character with a relic or resource assigned to it, or holding an object, and the attack roll is 10 or more, remove that relic, resource, or object from the game. When this character hits an opposing character that is 150 points or less, until your next turn, anytime the hit character can use Impervious, Invincible, or Invulnerability, it uses Toughness instead. Now, I don't know about you, but that last part is really what's grabbing my eye. Being able to remove relics is nice, but the fact that you can shut down Impervious, Invincible, or Invulnerability for pieces that are 150 points or less is just amazing. I don't know if there's a bigger slap in the face when you have that extra protection and it's gone and you got nothing but toughness to keep them away. Again, this is going to be an awesome ring. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and take this time and go over our quick review of this power plant. And I've broken it down into 8 easy steps for you. Step 1 is point cost. The power plant itself costs 10 points, and each additional ring is only 2 points. You can have up to 10 rings onto your power plant to fully supply it, giving it a total point cost of 30 points. Not bad at all. Step 2 is that your power plant is assigned to your whole team, not just selected characters on your force. Step 3. At the beginning of your turn, you may remove one chosen ring and assign it to one of your characters. Go ahead and place that on their card for the assigned character. The chosen character can now use that ring's abilities. Step 4. Characters can hold multiple rings, so use this to your advantage and get some interesting combinations. Step 5. Rings that are placed on assigned characters through the ring selection ability go back to the power plant when the character is cleared. As you can see, the Mandarin we have here has 2 action tokens, so he needs to clear. When that happens, you take those actions away, and the rings assigned to him go right back to the power plant. Step 6. The Drain Ring power ability can be used by a friendly character once per turn to either use Outwit or to modify their combat values by +1 for this turn. So when you use this ability, you choose one of the rings to drain its power. When you do so, this ring becomes destroyed, and that leads us to step 7. When you use that ability, remember to remove the ring you chose from the game. So don't forget, if you use this ability, this ring is no longer able to be used throughout the whole game. Step 8 is the easiest and probably most important to remember, and that is have fun while playing. The power supply is a pretty simple resource to get used to, but it can take time and a lot of practice to really master this resource. So remember to have a good attitude and have some fun while playing this awesome game. So that does it for our review and how-to of the power plant. This resource is quickly becoming one of my favorites. It's very easy to use, and for the point value, it's going to be very hard to pass up. But because you have to win a tournament in order to obtain this resource, very few people will have the option to play it. But if you do end up getting a hold of one of these, I would highly recommend playing it whenever you can. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing your opinions about this new resource. So remember to leave us a comment down below. Also, if you're not a subscriber yet, here's your chance. When we hit 500 subscribers, I will be doing a giveaway for a giant man. We're over halfway there, so don't forget to subscribe today. And please remember to give us a thumbs up. It really helps us a lot. And lastly, I want to thank you for watching. And I hope you have a great week and a happy new year. Guys, be safe, because I will see you soon.